Hola estudiantes, ¿cómo están? Estamos en el capítulo 4, en la página 102, de la página 102 a la página 109. ¿Qué estudiamos? ¿Qué estudiamos? Los días, la hora, actividades de rutina, ¿verdad? Actividades de rutina. ¿Qué tenemos que hacer? Things that we have to do, plans, ¿verdad? And finally, more professions, ¿ok? Profesiones, más profesiones. A ver, en la página 102 tenemos una foto, ¿verdad? Una foto. Y necesitas encontrar la descripción. So you have to look for the description of this photo. Remember, take a look at the photo. Try to identify things that you already know, okay? And then go back to the options and try to decode, okay? Try to identify the things that you already know and then decode. Remember, you don't need to know every single word. It's impossible and it's totally normal. So do not go to get a dictionary or nothing at all, okay? Try to decode, try to get the gist. This is something that you can do, and this is basically what we are supposed to do, okay? And then select the one that makes more sense. Then continue with the other activities as indicated via Blackboard, okay? En la página 103, you are going to see a section to your right that says las partes del día. Las partes del día. And of course, you can link this new information with old one. For example, you know already what is buenos días, buenas tardes, and buenas noches. So make connections, okay? Por ejemplo, la mañana, so is in the morning, ¿verdad? La mañana, el mediodía, la tarde y la noche, but also la medianoche, okay? El mediodía, la medianoche. So one is noon and the other one will be midnight, okay? Media means half, okay? Bien. So start learning that vocabulary, okay? And also review some of the verbs, the activities that you learned in the previous chapters, okay? Por ejemplo, caminar. Caminar, caminar a, estudiar, to study, comer, hablar con, hablar, descansar, that's to rest, pasear, to take a walk, ¿verdad? Pasear por el parque, pasear por el parque, escuchar, and then ver la televisión. Keep in mind that you have to have the agreement, okay? If I'm doing the action, my verb has to be in the yo form. If you is doing the action, I have to use the you form, okay? Bien. Then on page 104, you're going to see a sample of a Spanish calendar. Pay attention. The beginning of our week is not Sunday, it's Monday. And the days of the week are written with lower cases. Only from Monday to Friday, our days are going to end with an S, like lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, no S, you see? Domingo, no S. Nevertheless, if I'm using the plural, I have to add, of course, the S for sábado and domingo because they need it. If I need the plural of lunes, then it stays the same. Nevertheless, the article will keep the agreement. It will be in the plural form. Los lunes, plural. El lunes. And then I have to keep the S too. El lunes. That's singular. El is telling me that it's singular. El lunes. And then los lunes. Plural. The article is telling me that it's plural. And this is kind of an exception. It's not something that we see habitually. It's not very normal, okay? It's not so normal. A ver, sábado, el sábado, singular, plural, los sábados, okay? Bien, if you have questions about that, of course, you can email me, okay? And then practice creating the questions. Write down the question and say them out loud, okay? And also give possible answers. So be ready to ask and to answer questions, okay? En la página 106, then we have the time. How to express the time. What time is it? You are going to see two questions. ¿Qué hora es? But also you're going to see ¿a qué hora? And then you can complete that with an action. ¿A qué hora estudias? They have different meanings, okay? One is what time is it? ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? ¿Qué hora es? Versus ¿a qué hora estudias? ¿A qué hora es el programa de televisión? And in that case, we're asking at what time something is done, okay? So pay attention to that, to the questions, because it could be confusing. Also, when we talk about 1 o'clock, our verb has to remain in the singular form because we keep the logic of singular y plural, okay? Es la una. Now, after 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock and beyond, then we start using the plural. Instead of es, then we're going to say son. Son las 2, son las 3, son las 4, son las 5, blah, 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 son las 12, okay? Bien. Also, the last thing that I want to say about the time is, so you're going to imagine a circle, okay? And then I want you to divide that circle in 4 pieces, okay? So you are going to have 4 quarters. That's basically our logic here. Why? Because, for example, when it's 3:15, we're going to say son las 3:15 instead of son las 3:15. Okay? So a quarter is going to be used instead of 15. Okay? And that's basically what you're going to see in this section. Okay? Now, let's talk about 3:30. Remember y media, mediodía, medianoche. So 3:30. 3:30, 3:30. Again, 3:15, 3:15. 3:30, 3:30. Now let's talk about 3:45. With 3:45, what we're going to do is we're going to move forward to the next hour. So if I want to say 3:45, then I have to use 4 because that's the next hour. That's what is coming, right? And then I'm going to eliminate a quarter. So I'm going to say son, because remember it's more than 1, son las 4 menos, and then I'm going to use the minus, menos cuarto, okay? Son las 4 menos cuarto, okay? So y is like adding, and then menos is eliminating. Okay? Bien. Again, if you have questions about this, contact me and we talk. After that, what we have here is las profesiones. Pretty simple. You're going to see some cognates, like, for example, veterinario, programador, okay? And you have the femenino and the masculino. Por ejemplo, mesero, mesera, bombero, bombera, enfermero, enfermera, profesor, profesora. Okay, that's another cognate, by the way. So the list at the end, a ver, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 professions there, and at the end, you don't have to memorize 9 because you will know at least profesor, veterinario, programador, and probably some of the other ones. Mesero, because you can relate mesa with mesero. So also make connections with things that you already know. Enferma, ¿verdad? Estoy enfermo, estoy enferma with enfermero, enfermera. Okay? Bien. And then, página 109, there you have a little chart that is going to explain to you how you can express the things that you have to do. If you have to do something, then you are going to use the verb tener, ¿verdad? Tener. And then immediately you are going to use que. What is the meaning of que in English? It doesn't have any specific meaning. But in Spanish, that's our structure. So every time that you have to express the things that you have to do, you have to give me tener, like conjugated, like tengo. And then immediately after that, que. Tengo que. And then you give me the action in the infinitive form, in the basic form. Por ejemplo, tengo que estudiar. And estudiar is not going to be changed. It's going to remain in that form, estudiar, in the basic form, okay? Tengo is the one that is going to change depending on who is doing the action. If I'm doing the action, then yo tengo que estudiar. Tú tienes que estudiar. Nosotros tenemos que estudiar. Los estudiantes tienen que estudiar. And then every time that I'm changing the subject, then the verb tener is going to be modified. Okay? Bien, and remember, keep the agreement. Okay? So that's basically it. If you have questions, please let me know. And that's it. Hasta luego. Ciao.